So to all, I am Ramesh Kumar, Assistant Professor from Jyoti Vidyapeeth Open University Airport. Today our session is regular language. So first of all, we will understand what is a regular language. The language is said to be regular. There are definitions given also. The language is said to be regular if there is a finite acceptor. Are you getting? I am telling that a language will be regular if it will be accepted by finite acceptor. Therefore, every language can be accepted by some DFA or MFA. So, every language can be accepted by DFA or MFA. DFA we know very well, it is mixed finite automata, and DFA means non-mixed finite. Are you getting all? So, this is the definition of regular and this is the condition of regular. Okay. So, we understand what is the regular language and why regular language. So, this is the diagram of relationship between finite automata and regular language. How they are connected, how they are related with each other. The above is regular expression and it is just regular and regular shapes and language. This one is finite automata and this one is regular grammar. So this is the relationship between finite automata and regular language. Okay. Here the regular grammar and regular expression are denoted by regular language. Here the regular grammar and regular expression are denoted by regular language and regular shapes. For converting regular expression to finite automata or vice versa, we use Lewis theorem that we will discuss in next chapter. So now we will study regular grammar. Generally, a grammar has 4 tuples, that is quadruples. We have already discussed grammar, that the grammar has 4 quadruples, that is 4 tuples, BN, sigma, P and S. Where BN is non-terminals, sigma is terminals. Let's say BN is a finite non-empty set of terminals, sigma is a finite non-empty set of terminals, and P is a finite non-empty set of production, and this is a star symbols. So this is the regular grammar. This is the condition of regular grammar. Next, we will discuss if the productions of grammar G are in the form that are given below, then G is known as regular grammar. If the production of the grammar G are in the form that are given below, then G is known as regular grammar. First point we will discuss of regular grammar point by point and step by step. First point is at most one non-terminal symbol appears. At most, first condition for the regular grammar is at most one non-terminal symbol appear on the right side of the productions. Second point, this is that condition. I am getting that these are the conditions, these are the steps of the regular grammar. Okay. So second point is at most one non-terminal symbol appears on the left side of the productions. Third point is non-terminal symbol which is on the right side must be either the left or the right hand symbols. So again I am repeating, this is a very important point for the regular grammar. And again repeating the points. First point is at most one non-terminal symbol. Non-terminal symbols who are capital letter of the alphabetical A, B, C, D. These are the non-terminal, and it may be on the right side of the production word. Second point, at most one non-terminal symbol appear on the left side of the production. So we may say non-terminal symbol appear either left or right of the production. Non-terminal symbols which is on the right hand side must be either left or most right of the symbol. So you may say the non-terminal must be either the left side of the symbol or up to the right side of the symbol. So this is examples. Here A productions, here A derived a small a, this is the terminals, and oblique a small a, capital B, this is the terminals. B derives capital C, B, and C derives a small a, capital B, B, and D derives a small b, capital B, and C. So in the above programs, in the above production, the rules A and B can occur in regular grammar, but rules C and D cannot occur at all. Okay, so these are the this is the definition. You may say this is the productions of the grammar. A derives of small a, this is the terminal, oblique A, B. So at right side there is a non-terminals. Again we are saying here deriving B derives capital C and a small b. So again capital C are non-terminals. So this is the left most of the productions. And now C derives a small a, which is terminals, capital B, B. So again here is the non-terminal. D derives B, capital B, C. So again here D is non-terminals, and leftmost terminals and rightmost terminals are the terminals, not a non-terminals. So in the above production, the rules A and B can occur regular grammar, but rule C, D does not occur at all. So here C, because C has not leftmost terminals, and D also not has left or rightmost terminal. So if in the above production, the rules A and B can occur in the regular language, but rules C and D cannot occur at all. So C and D will not follow the rules of the grammar. Okay. So this is the conditions. Now we will discuss notation used in regular grammar. Whenever we write a regular grammar, then the notation will be used. These notations and their uses are given here. Arithmetic point, notation are used in regular grammar. Whenever we write a regular grammar, then the notation will be used. These notation and their uses are given here. First point is lowercase letters near the beginning of the alphabet, such as A, B, C, and so on, are used to denote the terminal. As already discussed in grammar, that a small letters of the alphabet are terminals. Here lowercase are terminal symbols. The uppercase letters near the beginning of the alphabet. Uppercase letters near the beginning of the alphabet, such as A, comma B, comma C, and so on, are used to denote the non-terminal. We have already discussed in grammar also that capital letter that is A, B, C, and D are denote the non-terminal variables. C, uppercase letters near the end of the alphabet, such as W or Z, are used to denote either the terminal or non-terminal. We are again repeating, capital letter that is uppercase are non-terminal. Lowercase that is a small letter are terminals, variable. And you may again, third point is very important, uppercase letters near the end of the alphabet, such as W or Z. Near the end of the alphabet, such as W or Z, used to denote either the terminal or non-terminal. It is used both the terminal or non-terminal. Lowercase letters near the end of the alphabet such as X or Y are used to denote the string or certain animals. Again I am repeating here, the lowercase near the end of the alphabet such as X or Y are used to denote the string of the animal. And last one is very important, lowercase Greek letters such as alpha and beta are used to denote the string which consisting of terminals and non-terminals. These are the points of the regular grammar. You can relate the regular grammar. You can do the help of production. Okay. So now discuss regular expressions. So what is regular expression? We will discuss regular language and notation of the regular grammar and what conditions for the regular grammar. Now we discuss regular expression. Regular expression is also referred to as reg exe or reg ext. जैसे regular expression or regular expression, the expression that describes the language, the expression that describes the language is accepted by finite automata and known as regular expression. Regular expression are also used for bounding the set of strings. Regular expression are also used for connecting the set of strings in a logic fashion. The recursive definition of regular expression over sigma is defined by the following. So this is the recursive. You may say the recursive definition of regular expression over sigma is defined by the following things. First point is, every character belonging to sigma is regular expression. For example, if A in sigma A is the regular expression, denotes the set of A. Second, phi is the regular expression which denotes the empty set. Third point is, null is a regular expression and denotes the set null. Fourth point is, the union of two regular expressions R1 and R2 written as R1 plus R2 is also regular expressions. Fifth point is, R1 and R2 are two regular expressions, then the concatenation of these regular expressions with R1 into R2 is also regular expression. Sixth point is, if R is a regular expression, then closure of R denoted by R closure is also a regular expression. And second last thing is, if R is a regular expression, then R is also a regular expression. And last point is, any combination of the rules 1 to 2 is also regular expression. So this is the condition of the regular expression, and we will discuss in the next lecture also. And maybe because it will be very lengthy and long lecture. So thank you to all for today. I think you understand regular language and regular expression, condition and introduction of the regular language. Thank you to all.